Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we are talking about permanent residency. We're specifically discussing this in the context of Thai condos. Had a number of folks contact us about permanent residence. This is kind of the time of year where we do get a lot of those inquiries. One of the big reasons for this is, for those who are unaware, the Thai permanent residence window, the application window, generally tends to open in the fourth quarter of the year. But a permanent residence application is a really complex thing. It's like the size of a phone book, literally, on paper. And there may be folks out there that are so young now that they don't even remember what phone books are, but they are thick. You know, they are a very thick filing, require a great deal of documentation and certification, and it requires a great deal of work in terms of both time and resources. And this is why, it's not really a good idea to wait for the window to open to file. You want to be prepared. You want to have the petition ready so that when the window opens, you just go in and file. Now, setting that aside, I've had a lot of people ask, well, does Thai condo ownership, add anything to my permanent residence application? I would say directly or in any sort of overly tangible sense, it's not a requirement. It's not even listed as something that's required or sort of encouraged as part of the residence process. So in that sense, no, it doesn't really have any real bearing on one's permanent residence application. Now, that said, there's some ancillary benefits that may arise from condo ownerships, most notably what's called yellow house books. If you get a yellow house book in Thailand, again, doesn't really confer any immigration benefits, but it is an extra identity document. Generally speaking, where we have clients that have those, of course, we're going to include that documentation in the filing. More documentation is always better. And the existence of the condo itself shows, or the ownership of the condo itself shows that the prospective permanent resident has a desire to remain in Thailand sort of in the long term. So in that sense, in sort of a more intangible sense, if you will, yes, I would say condo ownership does have a substantially positive bearing on Thai permanent residence, or a permanent residence application. But is it a requirement per se? No, it is not. So, it's something that I think might add a little bit more weight, but how much weight between a feather and a bowling ball? Difficult to say, and I wouldn't try to quantify that, but maybe the best way to sort of conclude this is to say, ownership of a Thai condo in the context of a permanent residence application couldn't hurt.